with the Vols having dominated Syracuse in their opener, and with Syracuse and with Alabama having lost and looked horrible, who Tennessee plays later in the year, obviously, there is genuine excitement that what looked like a 9-3 season for Tennessee could be an 11-1 season, a realistic 11-1 season. At the same time, there are people who believe that Tennessee is much better than they were. SP Plus rankings have them in the top 10. FPI has them projected to make the college football playoff, even though they fell. Many analysts now have them projected to make the college football playoff, despite where they are in the rankings. Has the win over Syracuse reset your expectations for Tennessee football? That is today's tough question, brought to you by Banks & Jones. Play to win, why settle, banksandjones.com. Today's tough question revolves around whether or not your expectations reset. And I got the poll question up, and it's this. Did week 1 change your expectations for the Vols? Yes. No, I need to see more. No, I knew they'd be good. You guys take your vote on that. Give me your thoughts. I'm going to give you mine, and it's probably not going to be a popular one. Mine is no, I need to see more. I'm just going to go ahead and give it to you straight up front. I need to see more. Now, there were some great signs for Tennessee in that game. Joey Aguilar processes a lot quicker than Nico Iamaleava. The offensive line being able to shuffle guys around is a very good sign for what they could do in years to come. So there's a lot to be excited about with this program after that win. However, you guys may forget, and we'll see this as I brag about my picks and bets a little bit later, I predicted that Tennessee would cover Syracuse against Syracuse in this game, and I predicted that game would hit the over. I had Tennessee as my lock cover of the week last week. So when you take that into account, how could I sit there and say that's going to reset my expectations? It's not. And I got to see more. I can't sit there and say when I predicted 9-3 at the start of the year that I'm going to change my 9-3 prediction because they did what I expected them to do in week 1. So with that in mind, no, I'm still 9-3. I'm not changing 9-3. The only wrinkle in that is Alabama losing at home to Florida State. That's what would have changed my expectations from 9-3 to 10-2, and that maybe Tennessee wins at Alabama. But I'm not ready to go there just yet. I picked Alabama to cover. I thought that was a sure over. The offense looked anemic. There were real issues with Alabama. I'm not here to deny that. At the same time, I can't sit there and say that Tennessee is all of a sudden better than I expected because of them doing literally what I predicted they would do. I need to see more, and I'm not going to really change how I feel about that until they prove things against either major competition or there are more losses for some of their opponents who start to look worse than I thought going forward. Until that, I can't sit up here and say I think Tennessee is going to all of a sudden be a college football playoff team. I still don't have them missing in the college football playoff. I have them making the college football playoff. I have them just missing it. We're going to see how that goes. But for right now, no, I don't have them making the college football playoff, and this is not going to reset my expectations. Today's tough question brought to you by Banks & Jones, Tennessee's trial attorney. Play to win. Why settle? Banks & Jones, led by T. Scott Jones, banksandjones.com.
Why Banks & Jones? Well, it's because they're Tennessee's trial attorney. You can play to win with Banks & Jones because they'll go to trial. You've heard of other lawyers. They say they'll go to trial and fight for you. They won't. They just want to settle. That's the easiest way out. Well, that's not Banks & Jones, led by T. Scott Jones. They won't settle. They'll go to trial for you. Tennessee's trial attorney. They play to win. Truly, Tennessee's trial attorney when it comes to criminal defense or personal injury. Why settle? It's Banks & Jones. T. Scott Jones. banksandjones.com.
The poll question up. Did week 1 change your expectations for the Vols? I think I got a plurality to my side. 42% say no, I need to see more. 32% say no, I knew they'd be good. And 26% say yes. Now it's 25% say yes, 45% say no, I need to see more, and 30% say no, I knew they'd be good. There's just a lot that needs to be. Here's the thing, guys. this Syracuse team was bad at the start of last year. They won a lot of close games. They finished the year strong as they got better, but they broke in a lot of new starters. They're running a pro-style offense. And the concerns about Tennessee weren't going to be fully alleviated by playing Syracuse. The biggest concern was the offensive line. Syracuse is very weak in the trenches. Under Fran Brown, they do what they can, but they just can't get those type of guys that you need to win on the line of scrimmage. And Tennessee, it didn't matter how easily they were going to pick up the system. It was going to be very simple because of how elite the offensive line was, because of how bad Syracuse's defensive line was. The run defense was atrocious last year. That's just going to be an issue for Syracuse going forward. So with that in mind, I can't sit up here and say this all of a sudden is going to reset my expectations because Syracuse managed to Tennessee managed to beat a team that, again, they were supposed to beat. I picked them to beat Syracuse. There's no way you're going to have me sit up here and say that by beating Syracuse and covering, which I predicted them to do, that all of a sudden they're a playoff team. That's just not how this is going to work, guys. I'm sorry. Again, things can change this week. We'll see. But as of now, no, I am not big on Tennessee and what happened. There's just too many other things that Tennessee has to prove before I can sit up here and say to you guys that I firmly believe the expectations for Tennessee football should be reset. I'm not ready to go there yet. Not ready to go there yet at all. We will see what happens. But as of this moment, my expectations are Tennessee still goes 9-3. I still do have them losing to Alabama. We're going to have to wait and see how Alabama goes. I still got them losing at Florida. And yes, I still have them being upset by Mississippi State. Now, I actually have them beating Georgia. That's the crazy part. I have them beating Georgia and being upset by Mississippi State. That was my crazy take at the start of the season, and I'm still sticking with that. Last week, maybe could have changed some people's minds. Mississippi State did look really, really ugly at Southern Miss, but I am the king of not overreacting to week one. It is my biggest religious philosophy in life is don't overreact to week one in college football. People do that way too much, and it causes way too many problems. So with that in mind, I never overreact to week one, ever. And because of that, no, I'm not going to sit up here and say that I think Tennessee should have their expectations reset solely due to the fact that they were able to win this game and cover. Not going to happen. And that's just that. We're going to have to see how things play out.